in the tricycle. It is huge. And I go back to the question Chamberlain has been trying to ask the minister. We really do hope that that connection gets sorted out. It has to do with what happens with first the pegging and what happens with the P.R.O, because if they're the ones that
the template
that sets a template and fix the price, and who say we're going full deregulation, then we're likely to see a scrapping of that agency.
Yeah, well, at least just as we said, there's still a peg, so the agency is there. So when it comes out, the issue is that is government prerogative
because of the agencies.
It's government prerogative on the agencies, and some of these agencies, you should know that they also they were established by acts. So you have to go to the House and Senate to make sure that they are removed properly. And I don't think any agency or anybody or any institution is bigger than the interest of the country.
Different agencies now talking about how they need to fix a ceiling. We understand that they can sell between 135 and 145. And I remember asking the IPMAN National Secretary yesterday that, look, what's the guarantee that if it's fully deregulated, prices will not hit the roof? But he also thinks, well, no, there will be a ceiling. Do we need to have a ceiling?
Well, one thing with, I don't really think we need to have a ceiling, because we've had things like this play out in other sectors, like the telecoms, and we see that people get creative, prices drop and everything. But because of the importance of fuel to the life of this country, so you may understand why government is being cautious, that but at the end of the day there will still be competition, because everybody cannot be selling at the same price. I don't see people coming around and on the right, okay, we'll be selling at this fixed price. There will still be that competition, and I guess when we start seeing the competition and it's coming down, then government might just remove their controlling.
This cap, some say before this they got to this cap of 145. Some studies were done, and it was estimated that the actual cost of PMS per litre is about 235 naira. And so it was based on that they now decided to come to this point. The weight of this on the Nigerian populace, you think it's better? I'm still coming back to what you said earlier, that this is the time. But the time to fix this, and then the fact that, as you said, there's no money in circulation, how's that going to work for the Nigerian people?
These it's very unfortunate that Nigeria, we have boxed ourselves, that everything revolves around fuel. We don't have any alternative. For decades now, we've been talking of building other sectors, the agriculture and everything, agro-allied, and the what's it called? Ajakuta is still there, it's still moribund. We've been paying lip service. So, and this is what we are paying. Even as a people, the masses. I've said that, the masses have not been able to assert their power, It's when election comes, people come and say this and that. But, you should give what you call bumper to bumper, the people you elect, from local government, councils and everything, know what they're doing. Monitor the money that's been budgeted. So, there's no country that's not corrupt, but it will reduce when they know that people are alive to their responsibility. So where we are now, is collective irresponsibility of the past. That's what we are suffering from. And you cannot blame a government that has election promises that it wants to bring to the bear. We say, oh, guys, let us just do this thing in 2 years' time. People understand why we're doing this.
If you say this is the time, and this is the time to do this, why is Labour kicking? Because we understand Labour was part of that meeting where this was discussed.
I have, you see, when we talk of Labour, due respect to the people in charge now, I have my own feelings where I don't, anything. If it's everything we have to do has to have what we call national interest, not the interest of the union anymore. Nigeria has gone way past that. I don't want Labour just say that we're not going to want this. Give us alternatives. Let us debate it. Nigerians are not fool. If the alternative of Labour is right, Nigerians will queue behind Labour. But just don't say that we will not take this. What are the alternatives?
So much to ask the minister, and in fact, I'm even thinking that once we get that sorted out, the questions will come from Nigerians, because so many questions Nigerians would love to hear him answer.
Exactly.
Now we just agreed that this is not full deregulation in comparison to what we've seen in the price of diesel. And we recall that diesel used to be about over 200 naira, but now it's about 120 naira to show, to give back to your argument. But again, look at, when we talk about regulations, if they are now free to sort out forex
exactly
by themselves, each
reduces
marketer.
the pressure
So
on the naira.
if marketer A gets the forex maybe
From
at
the
the approved exchange rate from the bank, first, how would you know? And even if you knew, and the man decided to sell for 145 naira, how do you penalize such people? This is some of the questions that Nigerians are worried about.
How they source their money wouldn't be our problem. It's no longer a problem. They can source it from abroad, they can source it from within, they can source it from the black market, autonomous market. It's no longer a problem. That's why, government will be able to face, our foreign reserve. There will not be pressure on it, there will not be pressure on naira. How they source it, that is business. They will be creative. Because government cannot be as creative as these people. This is their business, this is their livelihood. Government is like, you look at so many other things that people are going to die, people are going to cry, people are going to do this, but they'll be creative. You see a lot of creativity, just as what is happening in telecoms. Every time I buy one of the telecoms now, I know what I'll press that will give me twice the amount, and there's one, if you just put it there, it doubles the amount itself. That's creativity.
But the thing about that is that I don't know what fuels this fear from Nigerians. Some of them are already tweeting that, look, they bet us that marketers will have a meeting and agree on a uniform price and nothing can change that.
Let's wait and see. We still have the NNPC and government there. If they do that one,
you think it's a possibility?
I cannot say things in an absolute sense.
Yeah, but how you're
I can't say since when the former minister said that we had mafia in the sector. The mafia, I'm sure she was referring to, is not just one person, a cabal, as she said. So, but I doubt it. Because they have overheads, they have so many, there's serious competitions in downstream.
And in all of this, NNPC will still be a player in the market.
For what, ideally, NNPC shouldn't be a player. That's what part of what we have been working on. Until it's broken up, and we now have those that will be playing, those that will be doing marketing, those part of it that will be strictly policy. And that's where we're talking about the PIB. Without the PIB, nobody knows the rules of the game.
Because these are some of the questions that Nigerians would love the minister to answer. Because if NNPC is still a player in the sector, and NNPC decide to sell some of the petroleum product from its refineries back home in Nigeria, how much will they be selling at? Yeah,
that's true. NNPC is still a player in the sector, because they said even theirs is down, when it's regulated, and when they start refining, you expect it to go down. That's part of the competition, we expect to see,
How can they bear this?
One of the things I said is that the union I represent, then, we are part of the people that hit the streets when in 2012. And as I said, we had a government that we could not trust, that whatever they save from the subsidy, they'll, use it appropriately. But for whatever we say, I think the man we have there is somebody we can trust. That will not.
Is this about trust? Isn't this basic economics of demand and supply? Deregulate, let the market forces determine. Why didn't this trust play?
Like I said, why didn't we allow it in 2012? You understand what I'm saying? Why didn't you allow it in 2012?
Who were the ones that would have done the business? Would they have been federal government if it was fully deregulated?
No. What was happening? No, it's not the federal government that would have done it, but Nigerians were saying that, look, what we see hard now, why is it that there was a lot of fraud about it? Why is it that the masses
are going to pay? They wanted to remove the fuel subsidy, which they say was fraudulent. Yeah. So if we stopped all those monies going to fraudulent people, let the market forces, let the marketers go in, sell the products with different prices. Wasn't that what they wanted to do at the time?
And basically what is the money that we're using to subsidize, they will save it to invest in other, aspects of the economy. That's what they were driving at. They will save so much, they'll save X and Y and invest it in other parts of the economy. But Nigerians will say that we don't even trust you, that you invest it in other parts of the economy. And that even at that, with the fraud that is going on, why is it that nobody was arrested, nobody has been made to pay the price for this. So if that's it, if the heaven is going to fall, let it fall on everybody.
So it comes.
That's what it came down to then.
The issue of trust.
Yes, trust. That's why it came down to the issue of trust.
Which has created the skeptics here.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think we have been able to take off this skepticism of the minds of people who would kick against this move by the government?
I think if it's on the premise of what I'm saying, that we have somebody or we have a group of people that we can trust now that will manage the economy appropriately and they will not stand under leakages, somewhere, I guess we have.
The issue of monitoring is very key here, not forgetting that some will argue that it is only those in Port Harcourt and in fact Lagos and Abuja who still buy at maybe regulated prices, but people in other places.
Now it has been deregulated. So, and if you have your product, I'm sure you want to distribute it. You will not be hoarding it. The more trips you make, the more money. Make.
Let's look at this other session, because first, yes, if he's announced this P.R.O 145 is the ceiling. Part of the concerns that Nigerians also have is if we had all those government agencies and they could not ensure that the initial prices announced by even this government was not complied with, what's the guarantee that people will stick with 145 naira per litre?
Well, we have a lot of government agencies, parastatals.
We've always had
but
them.
You will see that they all have specific job description. When you talk of monitoring, it's actually the work of DPR. But from what I know, DPR is short-staffed to do effective monitoring.
Have they said so themselves?
Well, it's not something that they will come out because of the way we run government here. Nobody will come out and say that we are short-staffed, that kind of thing. But I mean, when you are making their reports, when they are being asked, why is it that there's no effectiveness, they should be saying, we don't have the manpower. It's obvious that they don't have the manpower.
All right.